Hi everyone, Peter Linciaga here, and just chuckling. My wife's in her studio right now as we speak, and at 4 o'clock she's going to have a coaching session, virtual coaching session. But anyway, we were laughing because wondering if we hear each other. She'll have the keyboards playing, people will be singing, and of course I'll be chatting. So we got a lot going on. At 4 o'clock also, my daughter starts teaching karate to our little champions, and I got my uniform back there, and I'm about ready to teach some classes. But I want to come live every day, 4 o'clock every day, Monday through Friday. Give you a bit of a daily dose, and this is like a practice. I am officially going to go with this daily dose, Life Mastery Daily Dose, next Monday. That's the official launch of this, but this is my practice. But but anyway, guys, I wanted to come on here just share something real quick with you, and let me give you guys a bit of a story. Now, I don't know if you guys can see this picture. I just went crazy looking for a picture. My wife and we went through all our photo albums when we were on tour, traveling around the world doing shows, musical theater. Some of you guys know that I'm an actor, and I did musical theater along with ballet, a whole bunch of stuff. My wife and I both did a lot of stuff like that. And we were traveling, and I remember while I was traveling, I was doing a lot of studying to about business, and I wanted to start my own business. And as an actor, I knew that the time was going to come where I was going to have to stop acting, stop dancing, and really settle down, start a family, and have a different career, so to speak. I couldn't be traveling around the world, living in different countries. We wanted to live in the United States and start a family, which we did in 1999. 2000, we had our first baby. But this is a picture of me on an airplane studying. And I wanted to be a business owner, start a business, and I was studying for that. Now, I want to share this today because today's topic I wanted to share with you was basically taking 100% responsibility for your life, no excuses. And this was me preparing, seeking knowledge and understanding, and getting as much wisdom as possible so I can go on my own and start business and find ways to generate money to support my family. And this mindset started for me when I was a kid. I knew I was growing up in the Bronx. I knew that it was a tough life, that it was rough in the streets. I had very little education because I grew up in the streets, and education was not my priority. I just wanted to survive and get food to eat and not get killed. But that was my background. But during that time, I knew that ultimately I had to find a way to survive, that my life was 100% my responsibility. And I knew that if I was going to eat, I had to do something to get food. If I was going to get warm, get someplace to live, because I lived in the streets for a couple of years, that if I was going to get warm and get shelter, I had to find that shelter. Nobody was going to do it for me. And I was 100% responsible for my choices for my life. And through my decades, I'm going to be 60 years old, that has always been my mindset. I knew if I had to take it to the next level, to grow and expand and to improve my life, to improve my family situation, I knew that it was 100% my responsibility, no excuses. So what I wanted to do today is basically give you guys a couple of things that I wrote down in my journal here. I think how many things that I wrote down here? Let me see. Let me put up my notes up here. Okay, 6 things. Okay, guys. Hopefully you can add to this list very quickly. You know, the question for you, and it's not a complicated question. It's not a trick question. It's like, who is responsible for your life? And at the end of the day, no matter what goes on in your life, good, bad, who's responsible? And I would argue that you are. I am 100% responsible for my life. And I know back in March when we went into this pandemic experience, I took 100% responsibility to do what I needed to do to make sure and ensure that I was meeting my responsibilities in my household and meeting the responsibilities of the students and the clients and the people that I was serving. And I spoke to Master Donato this morning. Of course, you guys know that I'm one of the master instructors of Donato Karate Center. Been there for over 20 years. DKC's been in Mount Laurel community serving this community for over 26 years. So he and I get together every morning looking at what we're doing and how we're going to better serve our community and fulfill our promise that we made to our community, to our parents, to our students. And we knew back in March that it was our responsibility to not stop, that we needed to serve our community, serve our family. So here are a couple of things I wanted to give you guys that I picked up along the way. Number one is believing in yourself. Me believing in that I have it within myself, or have the power to access what I need so that I can move forward. That I took 100% responsibility to believe in myself, believe that even when times go bad, that I can mitigate that, or when times go good, that it's my responsibility not to take it for granted, to make sure that I continue to grow and expand. So that was my number one thing that I put on my list, is believing in myself. I need to believe in myself that I can overcome this, that I can find a way through this problem, that there is an answer. I need to find that answer. And so that was my number one I put down here, is believing in myself, having faith in the gifts and talents and the power, the mental power, the physical power, the energy that I have to do what I need to do, to get done what I need to get done. And number two is this, take no less than 100% responsibility. Again, it's about me not having any excuses. And I do research on people that are successful, highly successful people. As successful people take full responsibility for their thoughts and what they visualize and what they decide to act on. They take 100% responsibility for that. And so that's another thing that I put on that list. 100% responsibility, again, believing in myself. And number three is simply not complaining. That's one thing. If you know me really well, I have no tolerance for complainers, people who whine and complain. And because basically, look at what you're complaining about. Okay, and when you complain, you're suggesting that you have no control over your complaint. And you probably don't, because that is your mindset. And so my thinking is this: I believe that I can overcome this, so I don't need to complain. I'm not going to waste my time complaining. I'm going to spend my time, invest my time in being positive and thinking of what do I need to do next? What needs to happen here? What do I need to learn? How do I need to grow? Who do I need to speak to? What do I need to do to expand, to move forward through this? Sometimes it's simply just waiting it out, riding it out, but no complaining, no complaining. So that was my number three thing on my list. Number four thing is basically taking and making immediate change. When I see something is not happening, my attitude wants to be, uh, what do I need to do right now to make change in the direction I want to go, no matter how small it is. And if I'm not happy about something, I'm going to look at it. What do I need to do to change my state, change my mindset? Maybe I need to learn something right now. I remember Master Donato told me this back in 2008, when I had to close a business, and the business obviously needed to close because it was just losing money, and it was a horrible situation. And then I remember sitting down with Master Donato, and he simply said this to me. He says, Peter, look, you may not be getting the results that you want, but you're getting a lesson. Learn the lesson. And I went, yes, what's the lesson here? Let me learn it and let me move forward. Matter of fact, every situation in my life that I had the greatest of challenges, when I had great loss, those are my most valuable lessons. And I draw on them all the time, even as recent as today. That's the wisdom. That's life lived turned into wisdom. And I love that. And that's my most valuable. And that's my number four. Make immediate change and adapt, improvise, overcome, move forward, keep moving. Even if you're waiting it out, still you have this mindset to move forward. Okay, when the storm stops. I remember I was in Florida. When was it? I think it was in the early 80s. I was living in Florida, and Hurricane David had come, and I was living on the beach. I was living right about 500 yards from the beachfront. It was pretty awesome on the first floor, and it was on an island called South Beach, and you had to go over a bridge to get to the beach. And then you had to drive a little bit all the way to the beach, and there was where I lived, and I lived there with two other guys, and we had to evacuate, and so we left, and I went to one of my friends' homes that was inland, and which we were stuck waiting it out for like 3 days. And finally, on the fourth day, we got the permission to go over the bridge, to go to our homes and our apartments to see the damage. And I remember going, and the actual beach went into my apartment. It was destroyed, but we had to wait it out. So sometimes you got to wait it out, but you still, when you're ready to get out there, you get out, you rebuild, do what ever you have to do. And also, I remember being in Berlin when the wall came down. I was in Berlin. I was doing a show. I was doing West Side Story at the time, and it was right around the time that the wall had just come down. And I remember going to Berlin on getting past checkpoint Charlie there and going out there, and the building still had the bullet holes. It was like going back in time. And they right away, you saw all the cranes they were rebuilding. It was amazing. So that's my number four. Make immediate change. And number five, I wrote down, at number five here is paying attention. Pay attention. I talk to all students about self awareness, internal awareness, and external awareness. And you may look to others for help and guidance. However, don't forget that you need to stay self aware of what you know, your knowledge, your sense, because you know what your goal is. I talk to our students on our Life Mastery program about their north. Why are you doing what you're doing? What direction are you going? So you need to stay sensitive to that and be aware of that. So pay attention to what's going on in you, in your mind, in your heart, and then pay attention to what's going on around you. And then you need to identify your key performance indicators, KPIs, when it comes to your empowerment, your ability, your gifts, your talents, and your ability to make a powerful difference in your life. So identify what's working and what's not working. And you need to make sure you are aware of that. This way you do whatever you need to do to move forward. And number six, let me finish off with number six, is that facing the truth. Be honest and face the truth, and then take action. Do not try to hide it. And that's one of the things that I struggle with. I've struggled with this my whole life, where I would just ignore it, let it go away. But sometimes you just need to face the reality, confront it, and just do what you can to move through it, to move forward, and do whatever you can to make change happen. And so those are my six things that I wanted to share with you guys. That was my daily dose, a big old dose of mastery when it comes to life. And those are my things. So anyway, guys, if you do just one thing today, okay, make it be this. Okay, commit to taking 100% responsibility for every single aspect of your life. No excuses. Okay, guys, so that's what I got for you today. Have a great day. I'll talk to you guys again tomorrow. That's the plan. And you guys have an amazing day. Take care. Remember, that's your responsibility. Make it awesome.